Hi, in today's video we're going to look at this Metro gallery. This is the gallery that you can just drop in from Bricks. I was playing around with it, and this is what normally would come in when you put the gallery in. You can have masonry, and you can have the Metro. And I thought this was a really nice layout for maybe some case studies or something along those lines. But the only problem I found with this is it doesn't seem to be responsive. I look at the mobile view and I think that's a little small. So, yeah, no problem. Let's change it to a grid at this size. Yep, that would be much better. But when you go back to the desktop view, it's changed it. It stays on a grid. So we can't have a responsive Metro grid, which really, it's a real shame. I thought this could really work. So I figured let's see if we can build it from scratch using Bricks. I will be using ACSS for this just to help me make my life a lot easier and make this a bit quicker. But you could do this without ACSS, I'm sure. So let's start by dropping in a section and a container, and then let's add a block to drop an image into, and let's drop an image into there. That basically is all we're going to need. So let's call this Metro Gallery. Oh, a Metro Gallery is not good. Metro Gallery, let's call this wrapper. Let's call this media wrapper. In fact, let's not call this wrapper, let's call this grid, and leave that as image. Right, using ACSS and the auto BEM, let's just add some classes so that this will be more maintainable and scalable. So, yep, that's fine. We've now got the grid with the class Metro Gallery grid, media wrapper, and an image. Right, first of all, let's put an image in here. So let's put that image in, and I want these to be a figure tag and an aspect ratio of 1:1, because they're square, as you can clearly see in the example above. So that's the first image there. Let's duplicate this 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let's look at this grid now. We will need 1, 2, 3, 4 by 1, 2, 3. So if we go back to grid and click on the class, let's make this a display grid. And using ACSS, right click, we want 4 across, and we want 3 down. A gap of grid gap. And that's the grid in place. Now let's look at putting the 2 large images into the places. So let's look at the media wrapper here and making sure that we're not on the class this time, because we're only trying to affect the first image and not all of the images in this grid. We want it to span. Let's have a look at this grid. We want it to go 1, 2, 3. So 1 to 3. And then we want it to go down. We want it to go 1, 2, 3 down. So that will be 1, 3. Let's have a look. Yep, that seems to be working there. And then we want to affect the last image in this. Again, making sure that the class isn't affected. And let's have a look what we want here. We want it to be 1, 2, 3 across to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So make sure we select this, and we want it to be 3, 2, 5. Yep. And we want it to be 1, 2, 2, 5. So let's put that in place. 2, 2, 5, and let's hope. Yep, that seems to be pretty good. One thing I'm noticing is that this image is coming over the end here. I have no idea why. It seems to be by the same amount as grid gap. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, it seems to be a grid gap. So I think what I'm going to do is, let's put that one back in. I didn't mean to move that out of the way there. Right. Let's have a look at putting a maximum height on these boxes. Let's do 40 rem. That seems to be working. Let's have a look, see if it works all the way there. Yeah, that seems to have figured it out. But I don't think that will work if we look at it on the front end. Let's save this, preview, and look at it on the front end. Let's scroll down. No, that does seem to work. No, here. It isn't working. I mean, we are probably going to change it at this height, but I think it needs to be a bit more unbreakable than that. So let's go back to the Bricks Builder. And let's go back to the media wrapper. Clicking on the class, making sure instead of a max height of 40 rem, and I think that was grid gap, let's do a calculation. So let's type in calc, and then I want 100% of the image minus the variable for grid gap. Ooh, I wish I could type. Grid gap. So that is a calculation of 100% minus the variable grid gap. Let's save that and have a look on the front end. Scroll down here. Yep, that does not mean, I mean, the grid gap gets too big, but that's a different issue and shouldn't be an issue because we're going to transfer it anyway. But that I'm much happier with that now. Right, let's again go back to Bricks Builder. We can remove this section now. Let's put some other images in here. Just so it looks a little nicer and a bit different. More akin to what we saw in the other one. So that's pretty much as we had it to start with. And we still have the same situation when it gets down to mobile. But what we can do now is go to the grid, go to grid template columns and make that 2. Obviously that throws everything out of an issue because we have to make this auto and this auto, I believe. And then let's try that doesn't seem right. That should be there. Content of that. One, three, auto, auto, auto. Right. That's just where it's going wrong. I must have moved it around. So that one there is 2525. So let's go back. That one there. Auto and auto. Now we have a nice 2-column grid. And going back to this, we have the Metro grid. So that's a lot better than what we had from just the Bricks Builder gallery. Now you have a lot more control over what you want. I mean, we can actually change that if we wish to be a single stack. So if we go back to the grid, we can change this to a 1-column. There we go, aspect ratio. We can change the aspect ratio if we wish on that. But I think I'll go back to a 2-column grid. And there we have it. And that wraps up the video. I hope you found it useful. Please let me know in a comment below. Like, subscribe if you want to see more of this content, because that would really help me out, know that I'm going along the right lines. And if you think I've done something wrong, which I probably have, let me know in the comments as well. Thanks. See you next time.